Good morning. You're starting your day with a pump break with Dr. A. Thanks for joining me today. I hope everyone is doing well and staying safe. Today, our topic is what to do if I'm having trouble breastfeeding. Sometimes breastfeeding looks really simple, and it may come simply to some, and it may not come as simply to others. That's when you need the help of maybe a team. And that team may include people like lactation consultants, chiropractors, your pediatrician, and even a pediatric dentist. What is my role in helping families breastfeed? Well, there are times where there are things called lip and tongue ties, or frenum, that prevents the tongue and lip from moving in the right way over the breast. And therefore, breastfeeding could be painful, could be difficult in terms of efficiency. So with the baby actually taking in milk and taking in the right amount of milk, there could be inefficiencies because of gassiness and things of that sort. At the time that we formed our team, and usually our families, depending on where they deliver, are having a lactation consult, maybe in the hospital, through their doula, or through other family, friends, or resources, such as like in our neighborhood. For example, in our neighborhood, we have a Anamelechi League. And so there are wonderful friends, neighbors, experts that are able to help give some sort of hints and tips initially, and make sure that it may be things that can initially be fixed, that so may not be a part of form and function, but actually maybe things like, the latch, the attachment, the hold, the position that the baby is in. Initially, as a team, we try to figure out, are there things that we can do to help the feeding process or the breastfeeding process so that if we don't have to do any intervention or surgical intervention, then we won't need to. So at the time that families may be coming to see me for my expert care, it's usually because our team has already looked and said, I think it's something that may be happening in terms of form and function with a frenum, an attachment to the lip or under the tongue, that may be preventing successful breastfeeding. We diagnose, we take a look at what's going on, and if we recommend therapy, it'll be laser therapy for that release. There are a lot of things that are tied into that because we're doing a full exam again. Sometimes if our families are breastfeeding and able to breastfeed in the room, we're looking at how the form and function happens during that time. We're looking again at hold and all the things that could play a role in that. And then we're looking in terms of externally and internally to make sure that the diagnosis that we make, and if we decide to do a release, it's one that we can help the family move on to different steps in their lives. Because when a lot of families see me, sometimes they're at a very frustrated point where they're like, I just hope this works. And I want to make sure that what I'm doing is the best for my child. And so we help in those recommendations. We may make recommendations to see an infant chiropractor if help is needed in terms of head and neck stability and mobility. And we may make a referral back to our lactation consultants. Generally, if we are going to do a release, we definitely make a recommendation back to our consultants so that they can work with our families one more time or a couple of more times to get in that proper suck training and exercises and the things that are needed to make sure the release heals the way it's supposed to and it functions the way it's supposed to. For families that may wait, even with a diagnosis of a lip and tongue tie, there are things down the line that we know there are correlation in terms of speech, in terms of oral health, in terms of overall growth and development, but we can't guarantee that those things are going to happen. So we always ask our families, and we make sure with that age 1 visit, remember, that we're keeping a watchful eye on our 6-month visits. And as we progress along, if we find that there are things that need to be fixed a little later or taken care of a little later, that we are able to give parents our recommendations in a timely manner.